is Coach Lindsay,
Chris, Brad, Leo.
And we're going to talk about an event we're hosting called Barbells and Bottles. It is a CrossFit Total event. Leo, can you tell us about it?
So in this CrossFit Total event, there will be 3 lifts we'll be performing. We're going to start with the squat, and then we're going to move on to the press, and then a deadlift. Okay.
Leo's going to be behind the bar and he's going to unrack the barbell, start your full extension, step back to the bar, so just making sure he starts with hip extension, straight line the hips and knees. From here, we are going to have spotters, which we'll talk about after the standard. So lifting standard, he needs to descend with his weight until the crease of his hip is below his knee. So I'm looking where his hip folds right here, and then it is below the very top of the knee, and that he stands to full extension again. The example of a non-completed rep or no rep would be if Leo went down and did not reach full depth. So the crease of his hip is above the top of his knee. Alright, go ahead and re-wrap. Okay. Spotting is super important. We'll be on platforms with multiple athletes. All of those athletes need to be on the same page as far as spotting goes for the safety of the athlete. We are requiring 3 spotters for each lift. So Coach Chris and Coach Brad are going to go over that with me. On each side of the barbell, 1 spotter behind. What the spotters are looking for is the bar path traveling up and down. So naturally the barbell is going to go down as Leo goes down to his squat. What I'm looking for and what Brad and Chris are looking for is that he has constant motion going up after he ascends his squat. Alright, I am spotting from behind with my hands in front of the chest to correct Leo's torso angle if he drops. Brad and Chris are there supporting the weight on the side. And what we're all looking for, go ahead and go down again, is if Leo starts going up into his squat and there's a deliberate pause in his upward ascent, we are then going to assist him up together. Or if Leo goes down into his squat and as he stands, he starts immediately crashing back down, we're all going to swim in at the same time and assist Leo in lifting his barbell. Right? Strict press. So this is not a push press. This is not a jerk. So also known as a military press or a shoulder press. So Brad is going to unrack his barbell. Right? From here, same starting position, extended hip, extended knee, standing straight up with no bend in the knee to get the barbell up. Any given the knee would be a non-rep, no rep. He's going to press the ball over the head and lock out. So on the lockout, again, everything in line, barbell, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, all in line. Can you return the barbell to the shoulder, please? What we are looking for is full extension. Deviation from that would be if you consider Brad's shoulder, or the front of his armpit point A, and his hip point B. If Brad extended overhead and leaned back so excessively that his shoulders went behind his hips, that would be considered a chest press. We will not be counting that for the strict press. Alright. And then again, going back to the bend in the knee, if Brad had a slight give in the knee before he brought the barbell overhead, again, that would not count as well. Right? Brad cannot drop the barbell from overhead. He must return it to his shoulder for the rep to count as well. Alright, deadlift, pretty straightforward. Touch your barbell. After Chris picks up his bar, we are looking for shoulders behind the bar, hip extension, knee extension. Important note on the deadlift, you must lower the barbell with control back to the ground for the rep to count, as opposed to dropping the weight. Can you show us picking the weight up after locking out our hip extension and dropping the bar from the top? Again, does not count for the CrossFit Total lift. Lifting shoes are acceptable, knee sleeves are acceptable, wrist straps are acceptable. Lifting straps are not permitted for the deadlift. A few more quick notes on the CrossFit Total. Just want you to understand that we're using this as a tool for newer athletes to establish kind of a baseline for some of the lifts establishing a 1 rep max if they don't currently have one, and for older athletes to kind of retest as well. We will be retesting these about 6 months after the event, and then again a year following to measure progress. A few quick tips on the lifts when preparing for them. You want about 6 warm-up sets. When you're planning your first lift, you're going to want to predict about 90% something you can hit for a triple for your first attempt. Something you want to be confident with. If you don't know a 90%, something again you know you can hit for a triple. That should be your first attempt. Your second and third attempt are going to be based on how that attempt goes, and your third attempt it can be adjusted based on how your second attempt goes. A few more tips, distinguishing the difference between greed and ambition. It's great to be ambitious, it's potentially injurious to be greedy. So when you're going for these lifts, if you have an injury or you are pretty sure you're going to deviate from decent form to accomplish these lifts, please reconsider safety first.
So we'll be having a group workout, small group workout, or excuse me, a short group workout after the total is completed, and then we'll be having a potluck. Bring something good to eat. It does not always have to be paleo. Something good is always good. And 9 o'clock, Saturday, January the 2nd, and family and friends are welcome.